Welcome in, everyone. This is the weekly reading for the week starting January 5th. So we are in the first full week of January, technically second here. Excuse me. So we just completed the full moon in Cancer, which was on Saturday the 3rd. That was at 2:03 a.m. So, and that was a biggie. So how are you feeling emotionally? That was going to be something where some kind of, that was creating a lot of emotional intensity. The moon is moving into Aries on Monday. So that's kind of more action-oriented energy. So we're going to be feeling the need or want to take action on things. So that might be welcomed. We also have the Sun, Venus, and Mars all conjuncting the beginning of the week. So some of this could be we could feel some overwhelming energies, but then at the end of the week, we have all the same Sun, Venus, and Mars opposing Jupiter. And Venus, the Sun, and Mars are all in Capricorn, and then Jupiter's in Cancer. So that oppositions towards this is going to be Friday and over the weekend. And that's going to show up in different ways depending on what opposition that is to Jupiter, whether it's Venus, Sun, or Mars. Actually Mars opposing Jupiter can be a somewhat, welcomed energy. But when we have Venus in the mix opposing Jupiter, that can be a little bit of like the term emotional extravagance, if you will. And then that Sun and Mars opposing Jupiter can be like people wanting a lot of attention. So again, the opposition does create a little bit of conflicting energy. Like you're feeling one thing, but there's also another conflicting feeling and you're kind of like, what is this? So it's about us just being aware of what that means and as it shows up, and kind of, again, being objective with what's coming up and what is it that when we really look at the root, what's going on there, is it real? Again, is it just the energies? What is it that I need right now? Also, again, how you're responding to that energy too is big. Make sure you're responding instead of reacting. I mean, that's for any, anything in life, but so those were the astrological things I wanted to kind of talk about. And we're going to move into the reading for the week and see what's going on. I did want to call out, I did just post this weekend my first video. It's I hate using the word channeling, and I do talk about that. I feel like it's more of a connection. We're connecting energetically between a human and higher dimensional being. But I have been connecting with the avian beings, if you know what those are, that races. But the avians came through. I just started connecting with avians, and it appears that the avians are going to be using me as a platform to kind of get some messaging out to the collective. So the first video I did post, it's the first kind of message that came through from the avians. Very interesting. What I'm kind of getting as the avians are coming through at this time to help us basically prepare and navigate for what's unearthing right now in our reality. We really have hit a turning point in the frequencies. So for those of us who are on this path of expansion, ascension, we are kind of paving the path for the... Yes, so we are the forerunners paving the new path of what this new reality is going to be and look like. All right, so I'm going to start with, I got this, again, connecting with avians. It's interesting when you connect with certain beings, how that vibration, you're then drawn to certain things in the 3D, but because they're part bird, I've been like so drawn to birds lately, and I found this Animal Allies Birds Oracle deck. So I'm going to pull a bird energy for the week. Let's see what comes here. Oop, the flamingo flew out. All right, so I'm going to read this flamingo card. So the flamingo represents beauty, balance, romance, effortlessness, stamina, elegance, grace, inspiration, and bright ideas. So when this flamingo appears, acknowledge the ways you are stronger than you think. Show your true colors and embrace your own flamboyance. Give yourself kudos where kudos are due. There's nothing wrong with patting your own back. You've got it. It's a good time to flirt with others and romance yourself. Okay. And then I'll pull a couple energy oracle cards. So we have the Thinking Woman, Angel of Strength, and Financial Constraints. This card has been coming up a lot. I think this is something that definitely started in 2025 and is still lingering here, but I feel like this is what the Strength card is about, overcoming some sort of financial difficulties or constraints. I do feel like there was a lot of blocks with abundance and wealth, that part of why this was really coming up to the surface for us is to really face this, especially since this can be really a fearful place for a lot of people, because money is such a core, like, you know, obviously money is security in this reality we live, but it really, people create such a fear around it. And like, it's like everything is based on this amount of money I have, and if I don't have this, but there's also a lot of lack mentality going on too that's blocking our wealth potential from increasing. So the Thinking Woman here, this can refer to a female person that comes in who has information guidance, something to offer of information that really helps you gain some sort of confidence or understanding about maybe a lack mentality or your money issues. And it really helps open something up for you that really changes your vibration, but changes how you move forward in regards to money. I'm just going to read this quick, a little bit around this Thinking Woman card. So this card is leading you to a higher understanding. So it could be a friend or someone that or it could be a teacher brought to your life at a time that you need some new direction. It could also reference a new love interest. But it can also represent a side of yourself that's ready to blossom into bring in new clarity. So, and I do feel like this week is definitely, there's some kind of expansion and giving us some new clarity this week about something. It could be general information about life, or it could be something specific. So let's see here. I think you do have to give yourself a little bit more, like the flamingo, give yourself more kudos, or there's something around like giving yourself more, like seeing yourself for really who you are. I think there's a lot more you can give yourself than what you do. I do think you've come a long way. I think you've done a lot in regards to being more confident in your life, having more courage to face your fears or to face situations in your life, to overcome some things. So there's something about really giving yourself kudos right now. All right, so we have Judgment. So this is definitely something, some new sort of awakening this week, or some really big kind of aha moment information coming in for you. That's why I'm again recommending you guys watch the Avian Message, because this is exactly what I went through this weekend and listening to this. And I think it's really going to help the collective. It really shifted and brought me some new like aha moments about where we're at, a reality, what this reality means, how we can shift how we view our reality moving forward. Four of Cups and the Devil. So I feel like this is the divine really coming in to clear up your how you conceptualize your past, how you conceptualize karma. This is also around your fears, the Devil. So this is coming to clear you any stuck emotions from the past. And this can be what we consider like karmic, which to me, karmic, there's a Indian yogi that said it amazingly, that karma is just our outward action. And even though we say like karma passes down, it does, because the emotional stuckness or the stuck beliefs or the stuck emotional, pain body that we don't integrate or we don't have awareness on, we're then that's the thing really that's motivating how we walk through life in a way we're always on automatic. We're always just reacting. So it's outward action is anything we say, anything we do, how we react or respond to other people or to ourselves. And what happens is that outward action has consequences. So if you have a parent that had emotionally absent, grandparents, and then your parent was emotionally absent, and that's how they outwardly acted towards you as their child, was very emotionally absent, emotionally abusive. So essentially that continues to create the karmic pain, which then each generation just continuously acts out on the inner pain that they aren't fully aware of or haven't integrated. So the Four of Cups to me is a lot around disappointments, about victim mentality, the poor me energy because of your past, right? Or things haven't worked out the way you wanted them to. Whatever that is, has created a lot of loop for you in regards to how you respond to the world and respond to yourself. And the Judgment card is coming in here to really to awaken you out of the old life into the new life and to get you out of this stuck patterns here. Ace of Wands, the Star, and the Three of Swords. Yeah, we're healing, we're integrating whatever this triangle of pain, heartache, disappointment, loss, victimhood mentality, and fear. So the Star is at the core of the reading here, which is the healing piece. And I like what's really fueling this shift is this Ace of Wands, which is like this new like blast of cosmic divine information, knowingness, speaking to you. World. Yep. Look at how, we have this strong, positive stronghold of strength of energy that's really supporting to move and to clear this energy out. The King of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So you have this strength card, and then you also have the King of Wands, who has the same lion here. So there is some you know, some symbolism here of like finding the strength within yourself to face, to really find the courage to shift and change, to see things in a new way. And this can take some courage, and it can take some confidence to basically take accountability for your own integration, for your own shifts moving forward. And the more I looked at it, I kind of see two things here. I see this energy kind of pushing through these cards, but then I also see like a progression here from top to bottom where it's like you had to have this complete and utter like crossroads right here at this time and moment to awaken you to these patterns, this energy that you've been carrying, or again, what's been fueling your outward action. And then we have this line, which is like, we have these two energy being lit here. And lately I've been calling the Ace of Wands like an ignition point. You're getting a lot of inspiration and passion that's fueling change and fueling integration and healing for you. And that's what is kind of the result from this line and that Judgment card. And you finally taking new action on your new ways of thinking, the new energy that's flowing through you. And you're healing this Three of Swords. But all of this was, again, this week. There is something about divine timing this week. So for a lot of you, this is going to be a big week. This week is also a period of indicating some sort of ending of something old and a new beginning here, which we see here in the cards. And now you're finding your power. You're really finding a new sense of power within you that's really elevating your passion for life and your passion to take some sort of action on this new you, this new energy flowing. And we do have the moon that moved into moving into Aries on Monday. So that can also be kind of that propeller for you to take new sort of action as well. Because with those, like we talked about the conjunctions and oppositions this week, there can be a little bit of like the old and the new, like the new energy is coming in, but the old is still there. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of conflict, like I'm feeling all these different things. But the King of Wands is definitely more of an action-oriented king. And he's taking passionate action on things that really align with who he is, what he's excited about, and what his heart is like calling him to do. So, and it's like the lion's heart here, having the courage to really go towards things that your heart and your passions align with in the face of nobody, right? You're doing that with a state of confidence that isn't tied to anything external. Let's just get one for the financial constraints here, a clarifier. Four of Wands. So you could be having, some financial issues. This could be in regards to like a house or a mortgage or your living situation. This could be tied to a relationship. There's some sort of financial differences here that are creating some sort of constraints in a relationship. It could be money issues, but someone could have lost a job. What's one for the Judgment card? The Tower. Yeah. So this is blowing in. This is coming in like out of nowhere. Okay. And to me, it's more of a positive tower. That's almost like a awakening, some sort of spiritual awakening this week. It is going to also trigger your emotions, some sort of new emotional state. This could have also been triggered on the weekend with that Cancer new moon, because that was a very emotional new moon as well. So interesting. What's this Four of Cups, Devil, Three of Swords? The Hermit. Yeah, this is really, really deep internal unconscious stuff. So this to me is tied to your relationships. But but also the relationship with yourself. But you could have been going through a period of like a hermit period of being in solitude a lot, maybe feeling alone or wanting to be alone. Maybe there just hasn't been a lot of connection going on. But I feel like this has kind of started with the new year. We're kind of in this period of really self-examination. What do I want? What do I want to do? And kind of more internalizing this process. So it's not one that you're processing this too outwardly right now. But this is going to help bring some sort of harmony within you, within your divine feminine and masculine here. But there has been some sort of heartache around this. What's the world in the Wheel of Fortune? Two of Wands, expanding. Yeah, expanding out. You're really seeing a new world of opportunities, of options for you, of getting out of the old, getting unstuck. I think there's a lot of new things coming in that are inspiring you for new ideas. But you're actively going to start making new decisions for yourself that are going to shift you out of the old patterns, the old stuckness, the old kind of comfort zones, and really push you out there. I see a lot of, again, we talked about success. I do feel like there's success coming in for you, success, recognition, a time of just like celebrating something. And I feel like it's just celebrating this new, like you have the world in your hands right now. So that's usually the Two of Wands is a man holding a globe in his hand. And then you actually have the World card here. So I do think like the world is your oyster right now. I think seeing things, seeing what can be is just, I feel a lot of positive energy here and a lot of optimism and success. So, and then you have the King of Wands, who is definitely the king of creating success in his life. So good stuff brewing here. This is a big week. So let's see how this unfolds and shakes out. Let me know in the comments as the week unfolds, depending on when you see this, what's happened. Have you got anyone experience the Tower moment? Let me know. But yeah, I will leave you with that. Don't forget, if you haven't watched, I post all of the 2026 yearly forecasts for all the zodiac signs. So check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign. I also posted the January monthly reading. It's just one video that has all of the signs in it. And then also the avian message that I just posted as well. All right. Thanks for joining in, guys, and I'll see you in the next reading.